Well, it's happening, everybody. We're one step closer to the Activision Blizzard purchase for Xbox. This morning, the EU came out and did approve it. And in classic, I'm unsure about myself, insecurity fashion, the CMA actually responded on Twitter, which is very interesting. The reason they responded, I think, is because their reasoning was weak already. Lots of analysis went through and said these reasons are really weak and don't look good. And secondly, they're the only major body to have declined this deal. In fact, I think in this article, this is an article at Windows Central. Is it here? Right here. Prior to this decision, regulators in Japan, Chile, Brazil, Serbia, and Saudi Arabia, along with South African authorities, recommended approval so far. The only one, now you add in the EU, the European Union, and the only one to not approve it is the UK. We still are waiting on the US. The US is going to be the biggest one. It's Xbox's largest market. But had the EU declined this, it's game over because the EU is one of the larger markets for the US. But they went ahead and approved it. And the CMA, in classic fashion, classic insecurity fashion, came out and made a statement. Here's what they said 2 hours ago to this one. Our response to the European Commission's announcement today on Microsoft Activision. Like, why are you even responding? Do you need to respond? You don't even need to respond. The UK, US, and European competition authorities are unanimous that this merger would harm competition in cloud gaming. That is one thing that the European Union did come out and say, that their concern was the cloud gaming aspect. The CMA concluded that cloud gaming needs to continue as a free competitive market to drive innovation and choice in this rapidly evolving sector. Microsoft's proposals, which the European Commission accepted, not only did they accept, but said that they will actually help enhance cloud gaming as a result. That's what the European Union said. Microsoft's proposals accepted by the European Commission today would allow Microsoft to set the terms and conditions for this market for the next 10 years. This is according to the CMA, which is the only agency to say no. The fact that they're replying says a lot, in my opinion. It's like when you break up with a girl and the girl starts talking trash and you like go online to address. You don't need, why? You don't need to. You're the one that broke up with her. Like, what are you don't need to justify yourself. They're trying to justify themselves because I think they're going to win the appeal. I think this shows that they're on shaky ground. In my opinion, it's weak. You don't need to do that. It looks childish. And it's foolish. So they go through and justify their reasonings here. Let's read through the rest of this. They would replace a free, open, and competitive market with one subject to ongoing regulation of the games Microsoft sells, the platforms to which it sells, and the conditions of the sale. I think that's foolish logic. This is one of the reasons the CMA's independent panel. Notice how they throw in independent panel. Are they independent? Be curious. I would be curious on that panel. Who's getting money from where? And chances are it's probably coming from Sony. Let's be honest, that's how government works, everybody. We all know it. There's big interests that pay off people. We know it. Come on. Am I jaded? Yes. But we know. You know it. This is one of the reasons CMA's independent panel group rejected Microsoft's proposals and prevented this deal. Even though Nintendo, Steam, other people competing in the cloud market said, yeah, we have no problem. The only one that didn't was Sony. Interesting. While we recognize and respect that the European Commission is entitled to take a different view, the CMA stands by its decision. Why are you justifying it? Why? They're justifying it because it's on weak ground. I think this gets overturned. I think there's a good chance this gets overturned. I think if Microsoft thought that they couldn't overturn it, they couldn't appeal it, they wouldn't went and hired the big guns. I think it's here. Let's read some of the comments to this because I think this comes off. Does this not come off as anti-Xbox Sony fanboy type of tweet, right? But this is a government entity tweeting this out. Hey, the reason we denied it is because of this. Like, why? You don't need to say anything. What are you doing? Let's read the comments here. So you're blocking the merger from Jamie. Well, you're blocking the merger because the only company who has invested seriously in a technology is ahead in that sector. Good point. Despite the fact that such a merger not happening will likely result in continued lack of investment in the sector by serious players because they won't have... where are we at? Because they won't have to. Your decision reduces competition and allows Sony to continue its anti-competitive exclusivity DLC deals, anti-cloud deals, and other anti-Game Pass deal. Your decision hurts competition. It doesn't enable it. Well said, good sir. This man for president. Well said. Giuseppe, can I also point out... ratioed Ratioed. This tweet got ratioed big time. Why do you even feel the need to respond? Exactly. Why are they responding? That's my question. This just comes out as insecure and honestly a bit silly and juvenile. Agreed. What is this? Some sort of competition between regulators and on who's right? Are you going to respond to all the other regulators who cleared the deal as well? Agreed. Well said, Giuseppe. CMA is sounding hurt, taking that personalized. Exactly. Let's see more replies. You guys are so hurt you didn't even check this before hitting tweet. I don't know what is UK, US, and European competition. My rating is respect the European competition is. Oh, because they put in the US as well and then edited it out. Interesting. Clown. Yeah, they're getting totally trolled. This tweet is ratioed. I think the CMA, this is not a good look. It was already a decision that a lot of analysts were saying wasn't good, and now the European Commission has come through and approved it. One of the things that I think is interesting, this is by IGN, a couple things that the European Commission said about this. Right here, the commitments fully address the competition concerns identified by the Commission and represent a significant improvement for cloud gaming, whereas CMA is taking the opposite and saying that's not the case. And that's the issue that a lot of analysts had concerns with is, well, they address the issues. What are we talking about? They will empower millions of European consumers to stream Activision's games using any cloud game services. And there was one more highlight. What was the other highlight? Oh, right here. Even if Microsoft did decide to withdraw Activision's games from the PlayStation, this would not significantly harm competition in the consoles market. These are all quotes from the European Commission on this. It does look like it went through. Now, as I was reminded by my man, Joe Foley, over on Twitter, shout out my friend, don't celebrate too soon. There's still some hurdles, mainly the CMA appeal has to happen, and the FTC, which happens later this year. FTC, under the current administration, probably not going to be an easy cakewalk. It's just the nature of where we're at currently in the U.S., but I will say this is not a good look. Why do this? Why respond? I think they know that they're on shaky ground, and I think they're going to lose the appeal. That's it. Regardless, this is interesting. This is interesting because if this doesn't pass with the European Commission, it's game over, essentially. You've got two of the three biggest markets for the Xbox saying no, and then Microsoft would face an uphill battle. Since they did say yes, it means game on. And actually, I think Windows Central does capsulate some of these. The merger is undergoing regulatory review around the world with a handful of approvals and a couple of major roadblocks so far. Where is it? They say it down at the bottom. Apologies. Windows Take, here it is. This is a huge move that will no doubt aid and embattle Microsoft with some much needed good news. Microsoft is already fighting two of the largest regulators in the world. If the European Commission had also blocked the deal, there's no doubt Microsoft would have walked away from the deal. Now they still have a massive uphill battle, but things are looking better. Things are looking better. And I think the CMA's response, mind-boggling. Remember when I talked about Microsoft's problem with marketing last week? Well, the CMA has a problem with marketing. Who thought that tweet was a good idea? Some bureaucrat somewhere. Hey, Lionel, let's make a tweet on this. Anyways, there you go. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think that the tweet, I'm making too big a deal about the tweet, that it doesn't represent what it represents? And again, just to reiterate, I think it represents that the CMA knows it's on shaky ground and is going to lose the appeal. Microsoft went and got big guns. I know analysts were already saying that their reasoning for blocking it was questionable at best. Would love to know what you think. Maybe I'm overstating it. I am an Xbox fanboy. I am biased, so my vision could be clouded here. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We've got Xbox content on this channel all the time, and we'll see you next time.